Hello, packing crew. We are the Jacksons. My name is Renisha, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about our recent trip on the Carnival Freedom, and we're going to discuss, has Carnival went downhill? You may have heard about the Carnival Freedom in the headlines from their fire accident that happened to their funnel and one of their ports of calls, but I just want to reassure that has no effect on our review today. We had just recently got off the Valor out of New Orleans, since we live in Louisiana, and we had such an amazing time. We were like, let's do something else, and we decided to go on the Freedom. We went on a 5-night cruise out of Port Canaveral, and we went to Nassau, Bahamas, and Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic. Now, we just wanted to touch on some things that kind of had us worried that Carnival wasn't the same fun and quality cruise line that we've experienced before. So we just wanted to touch on those things today and just see, like, is Carnival going downhill? Now, for first impressions, Port Canaveral has to be the best and easiest cruise terminal onboarding situation we have ever experienced. We were in the cruise ship in less than 20 minutes. We enjoyed that so much, and I was so happy that things just were so seamless. Now, another first impression was the room. Now, I know I booked it last minute, so we were only able to get an interior room because it was completely sold out, which we were fine with. We're cool with interior rooms. But I will say, this was the worst sleep, boat rock, everything under this. This was the worst sleeping we've ever had on a cruise ship, and I hated it. We dreaded it every night. You felt everything move underneath your bed. Like, it was just terrible. It was completely terrible. We didn't experience this on the Valor, but unfortunately we did here on the Freedom. Now, on a positive note, one thing that Carnival never misses, and definitely didn't miss on this cruise, was the fun. We had an amazing time turning up. It was such an amazing deck party. We love the deck parties on Carnival. It is so fun to people watch and just see everybody getting down, having fun. We just love it, and they definitely did not miss that on this cruise ship, and we were so pleased that everyone was up having a good time. And I will say, this was probably the most turned cruise we have ever been on, period. Carnival, any cruise line, this was turned to a whole nother level. People were dancing, having fun, getting down. I just loved every second of it. Now, let's get into the food, my favorite topic. Now, the food on this cruise was just okay. Like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was just okay. Now, of course, it had its standards. The Guy's Burger, Blue Iguana, Mongolian Wok, my personal favorite. But the dining room food, it left a lot to be undesired. It just wasn't what we were privy to on the Valor and a lot of other Carnival vacations that we've had in the past. So that was definitely a letdown. But of course, the staff was always so nice, always so courteous, always great. You know, they're full of energy. They were amazing. It's just the food wasn't, you know, what we're used to, or maybe that's the norm now. Right now with Carnival, there have been a lot of shortages, a lot of budget cuts, so maybe that's just the norm now, but it just wasn't what we were used to, and we just really didn't enjoy it that much. But that's okay, because we were able to eat and we were able to still have a good time. Now let's get into the atmosphere. Of course, on a Carnival cruise, the atmosphere is always surrounded by fun. And like I said earlier, this cruise definitely did not disappoint with the fun. It had a lot of options for kids who were on board. Chad and I were just by ourselves with our couple friends, and we were having such a great time on the sea days. That's the footage that's showing now, us just relaxing by the pool, people watching, having some drinks. It was just a good time. The DJ, he was on point. People were jamming. It was just amazing. We loved everybody who interacted with us. We had such a great time. Now it's time for port days. So the first port of call was Amber Cove, Dominican Republic. This was our first time at Amber Cove, and I was completely blown away when we sailed in. It was absolutely gorgeous. It wasn't crystal blue waters like you would see in like the Bahamas, but it was still, the scenery was just breathtaking. And the port itself was very nice. It featured a lot of different shops. It had a pool, which we'll get into later. It was just amazing. So this day in particular, we didn't really have a plan of what we wanted to do. So we thought, let's just do what we always do. Go to a local taxi, see what we can get a tour for. Now, one thing I did not like, they were pretty pricey for the tours. And luckily, we found this beautiful couple, and they were kind of like some sharks. They were really aggressive with the tour guides, but in a good way. And they ended up getting us all just a good private rental car for the day, and the taxi drivers took us to a lot of different stops, a rum factory, a chocolate factory, just a lot of little museums, and the lovely couple were able to get a really good price for us. So thank you so much. If you're watching, you guys were amazing, and we're so happy that we got to meet you. Now, of course, since we're docked in Amber Cove, it was only fitting that we went to the Amber Museum, as well as the Umbrella Street, which I was so excited about. It was so much fun and so beautiful. And of course, I wore my pink because I wanted to take some pictures on the Pink Street, which I was so thrilled about. It was so much fun, you guys. Really, Amber Cove was such a beautiful, beautiful port. We loved it. I definitely want to go back to DR, and we actually have plans to. So I'm so excited to be back. And when we got back off the tour, we got back to the port, and it was like, we're hungry. We didn't eat all day. Let's go to a local restaurant near the pool. And we did. The food was okay, but we were still in good company. We were around a good ambiance, and we were able to watch the sunset coming in. And it was just overall a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. And I just highly recommend Amber Cove to anybody who are looking for itineraries. Now, a highlight of the cruise actually happened that night at the comedy club. We had the comedian Spike, and let me just say, he was the best comedian at sea that we've ever experienced. So I highly recommend that if you can find a cruise that has Spike on it, get yourself on that cruise. Now, for the next stop, we were in Nassau, Bahamas, and we've been in Nassau so many times, like I'm sure other cruisers have. So we were like, let's do something different. So we decided to book a resort pass for the resort called the Warwick Paradise Island, and it's across from Atlantis. And it was a beautiful resort that had its own little private beach, private pool oasis, all-inclusive drinks and food. Now, it was pricey. It is $125 per person, so it is a little bit pricey, but I do think that it was worth it. Now, is it like Mr. Sancho's or Nachi Cacombe or Paradise Beach in Cozumel? No, it's not like that, but it was definitely luxe, and we would go back if given the chance. Now, overall, we did have a good cruise, but I do want to highlight something that took our cruise from just okay, and it really did make it feel really special. And it's something that I recommend all cruisers do if it's in your budget, and that was book a specialty dining night at the steakhouse on board. And quite frankly, it is still my favorite steak at sea at any specialty dining restaurant that we've had so far. So I definitely recommend that you try it out. So I just want to show you a little bit of what we experienced, the food, and the ambiance. The waiting staff was impeccable. They come to your table, bring you an array of salts that you get to pick for your meat, and they give you little hors d'oeuvres. The ambiance of the steakhouse interior was just amazing. Here is my crab risotto, and she's now plating my 20-ounce ribeye, which was cooked to absolute perfection. My close friend Anita, she was given the lamb chops, which were mouth-watering. Oh my goodness, it was just amazing. I enjoyed this dinner so much, and it really was a good ending to our vacation. And here's a little chocolate spear dessert situation, which wasn't that good to me because I'm not a heavy chocolate person, but it was still beautiful to capture, and we just enjoyed everything overall. And it was just honestly such a great experience, and I highly recommend, if you can put it in the budget, please book the steakhouse. So overall, did we have a great trip? Yes. Does Carnival still need to work on some things? Yes. But will we book with them again? Of course. I just wanted to bring awareness in this video. I don't want to bash Carnival because we love Carnival, and we feel like it's just a great cruise line for a lot of young families or families starting out to learn if they love to cruise. So we definitely recommend Carnival, but we do feel that you shouldn't have to pay for specialty dining to get a good meal. You shouldn't have to, sleep horribly at night. It's just those things should be priority. Even though we had great times at the deck parties, great times at the comedy club, we want to be relaxed as well. We don't want to just have fun. We want greatness across the board, and that's what we look for with any cruise line. We look for the fun, we look for the food, and we look for, just accommodation and relaxation. So I definitely think that Carnival is a great cruise line. However, they do need to work out some kinks. So hopefully they can do that in the near future. So I hope this video helps you decide if you want to give Carnival a try or not. We definitely recommend that you do so to see if it works for your family, and be on the lookout for more episodes to come. Thank you for watching.